This is practice day. So today's practice, I'm going to take you through a short flow that is meant to sweep away the cobwebs in your joints in order to prepare you to move into a posture called Bird of Paradise pose. The Sanskrit of that posture is Varga Dvijasana, which translates more closely to twice born pose, which I love that idea. The idea that we can, this perspective, again, here we are, another perspective practice, that we can be born back into our body over and over again. So this is a practice. I'm going to do some postures that are going to kind of sweep away the fascial cobwebs in your hips, in your shoulders, in your chest, in your spine, all through the body in order to move into a place of feeling like you're coming toward this pose without actually going into the full standing balance quite yet. So start off just by coming into an awareness of your body. Sit up nice and tall. Connect to your sits bones in your tailbone and find a long extension in your spine, through your shoulders, through the back of your skull. Settle into watching your breath as it moves in and moves out. And then, from your seated position, we're going to move into seated squat. So turn your feet to face outward with your knees wide and start off with your arms inside of your legs. And we're just going to start with some shoulder rolls here. So you can make your shoulder rolls kind of small, or maybe they get a little bit bigger. Just moving in, start to warm up your shoulders. You could even just kind of rock back and forth here. That might be even more agreeable to your cobwebs. So we have this casing inside of us called fascia, which fascia runs through the whole entire organism of your body, everywhere inside. And this becomes like, if you can think of the idea of walking through a house where nobody has been for a little while, and maybe there's cobwebs all through a room, and if you try to walk straight through those cobwebs, you're going to get all stuck with sticky stuff all over you. But if you take a brush first and move through the house with a brush so that you can sweep those cobwebs out, then you have a smoother pathway to move through. So that's what this practice is meant to offer, is a smoother pathway in your own body, where we sweep out some of this webbing that becomes a little sticky inside of us when we haven't moved through there in a little while. Okay, so now as you keep your left arm inside, plug your left arm in the thigh, inhale, extend your right arm up to the sky. Exhale it back down and plug your right arm in. Left arm goes up, inhale. And we're just going to go back and forth like this. So inhale, right arm up, exhale it down. Each time you breathe one arm up, plug the opposite arm into the thigh like an anchor. Let's go back and forth like this just a couple more times. Breathing in and breathing out. Good. Last time each side. This time though, inhale, arm up, and bring the arm behind you so that the fingertips are on the ground and lift into a twist. Turn your gaze to look over the left shoulder. So, and then pull up through your chest muscles so that you get this big twist in your spine. And then move back to the opposite side. Left arm plugs into the thigh. Sweep your right arm up on an inhale. Bring your right hand down behind you. Push the right hand into the ground. Lift your chest up from here. Open up through the heart center. Roll your shoulders back. And then exhale again. Come forward. Then inhale. Open the arms up nice and wide. Peel open your chest. Lean back slightly. Place your hands down behind you. Walk your feet back together. And then just start to windshield wiper your knees side to side, rolling your feet off the ground as you do. Take one more side to the left and then come to the right and keep your knees there and twist so that you bring both hands over to the right and just give yourself a little twist in your spine. Then inhale, rise back up. Take the knees to the left, drop your knees over, bring your hands down over to the left and dip into the twist on the opposite side. Come back up, breathe in, lift yourself back into a position where you can now roll over onto your knees into a tabletop. Now friends, if you have any tenderness when you put pressure on your knees, Go ahead now and put something underneath your knees, like a blanket or a rolled up second mat perhaps, anything that can give you a little extra cushion underneath your knees if you have tenderness there. So now in your tabletop position, start off first by making some circles. So here again, imagine that you're taking this brush through the house, through the inner house of your body, and just sweeping out these cobwebs, taking some circle action in your hips as you go side to side. And then from here, inhale, lift your chest up, and exhale, round your spine. Inhale, lengthen and extend, chest and tailbone lift. Exhale and round. One more time, inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, round. And then from here, come in your tabletop position. I'm going to turn to face the camera, but you can stay where you are. Extend your right leg over to the side. So you're in tabletop with this rogue right leg kind of sweeping out. Curl your left toes under, walk your hands forward, fingertips on the mat. Start to push your butt toward the back of the mat and allow your heart to rest through your arms. Maybe your forehead comes all the way to the ground. Push into your right foot so that you have this strong anchor over to the side. And then on your next inhale, walk yourself back upright and start to walk over to your right foot. Now, you can either hold on to your foot or have your hands inside the foot, near it. Push your foot into the ground, press your hands over to the foot, and try to lean back, upper back going over to the left, right foot and hands pushing to the right. Now set your left forearm down onto the ground, slide your right hand up onto your right hip, and twist your belly to face towards your right foot. Then extend your right arm up to the sky if that feels good. You could, maybe, if it feels okay in your body, take a half bind and bring your right hand and arm behind your back and grab for your left thigh. Then roll your chest up toward the ceiling, wherever your right arm is. Keep it in a place where your chest can really lift and open. Look down at the floor, come back out of that posture, and then step your right foot forward to the front of the mat. Good. Now, with your right foot at the front of the mat, take a deep breath in and rise up into your low lunge position. Reach through your fingertips. One big breath in. With your exhale, bring your hands back down inside your right foot. Walk the right foot over to the side and turn your toes to face out at about a 30 to 45 degree angle. That turn of the foot should give you a little more room in your right hip. Should make a little more passageway for you to walk into. Because now we're going to walk the hands forward out in front and stretch into a place where it's almost like you're coming toward lizard pose. And then exhale there, walk yourself back upright, straighten your right leg so that you're in half split pose. This is also called Ardha Hanumanasana, half split, Ardha Hanuman, which is Hanuman is the monkey. So we're going back and forth now from lizard as you inhale, lean forward, and then exhale, walk back into the monkey. So it's a knee bend into the hip flexion. We get into the hip there. Then we get into the hamstring as we straighten the right leg. Now stay there. Keep your left hand on the ground or a block. Right hand onto your right hip and turn your torso toward the right leg into a twist. Engage your right back of your right thigh by flexing your right foot. Maybe extend your right arm upward. Maybe take your right arm behind your back into that half bind again. Stay lifted through your low belly. Pull up through the back of the right knee. Then exhale, look down, bend your right knee, lift your left knee up off of the floor. We're going to walk along the side of the mat to the back side, over to your left foot. Bend your left knee and turn the toes out into a 45 degree angle. Straighten your right leg, really push into that foot. Plug your left arm into the left thigh and then bring your right hand onto your hip. Roll your torso open. Keep the torso open and maybe then extend your right arm over your head or take your right arm behind your back into the half bind. Again, place the arm in a position where you can most open your chest. For a breath in, engage your low belly, stretch through the chest and the spine. Exhale, bring your hand back down, walk back to the front of your mat. Then set your left knee back down onto the floor. Now kickstand your left foot over to the right. Rise up here with a straight right leg into our gate pose. Arms stretch out, take a full breath in, really push into the foot here again for an anchor. Then right hand down, left arm up, stretch all along those nooks and crannies in the left side of your waist. Lean up here and then flow back up as you inhale. Exhale, lean over. Good, just getting those nooks and crannies swept free of the cobwebs. One more exhale. Come back up, place your left hand down at the back side of your mat. Stretch your right arm up and overhead. And then exhale, bend your right elbow, make a fist like you're pulling back on the bowstrings. And then exhale, we're going to use that arm like it's an arrow. Shoot the arrow of your arm overhead, and maybe you feel an even bigger opening across your right waist. Then spin your chest up toward the ceiling and look up if that feels okay. Now let's add on again. Maybe you lift your right foot off of the mat so your leg is at hip height. Maybe you even bend your knee, kick the foot out behind you, catch the foot, roll your chest open here. Press your shoulder blades forward to open across the front of the body, but make sure you stay connected to your core line so your belly button draws upward, all of the muscles in your low belly engaged. Then extend the leg back out, set your hand down, and walk your way back around so that little pivot too sweeps out the cobwebs in your pelvis. Then as you exhale, step back into downward facing dog. Pause in your downward facing dog. Maybe pedal your legs out a little bit if you need that release. Then inhale forward into high plank pose. And either stay in plank or table. Hug your elbows in and lower with control to your belly. Uncurl your toes, feet flat. We're going to inhale into cobra. Lengthen your tailbone toward your heels. Draw your chest forward. Open up your heart. Cobra pose. As you exhale, push up and back into either downward dog or child's pose. Pause in your child's pose for a breath in, or your down dog, and a breath out. And then come back to tabletop again with me. Again, I'm going to start off by turning to face the camera, but you don't need to do that. So extend your left leg out to the side and press your left foot down into the floor. So again, you have a strong inner thigh action going. Walk your hands forward, fingertips out in front of you. Curl your right toes under. Send your tailbone toward the back of your mat and your chest dipping toward the ground. Again, maybe your forehead comes onto the floor. Pause for a breath, inhale, opening up the shoulders. We're opening up the chest, getting a big opening across the spine. Then walk your arms back up, and we're going to get a little different, a side stretch here. So walk your hands over to your left. Now you can hold on to the foot, or maybe the hands are inside. And again, same idea here, but different side, where we're pushing the hands and the foot over to the left and letting our torso be blown back over to the right. So this is, again, we're doing what's called asymmetrical poses, meaning we're doing one side at a time. Good. Set your right forearm down onto the ground. Slide your left hand up to your left hip and twist your belly to face your left foot. Then either keep your hand on the hip, stretch your arm to the sky, or draw your hand behind your back into a half bind. Maybe in that half bind, you even grab your right thigh. When we do asymmetrical poses, we get to discover our own asymmetries. So you might notice that one side is not the same as the other, and that's okay, just notice it. Now lift your chest up for one more breath, then look down, bring your hands down to the ground, and walk yourself to a lunge position. Walk yourself to a lunge position. So once you're in this lunge position, then with your left foot at the front of the mat, we're going to inhale again, start off with the arms up and overhead. Big reach through the arms, stretch through the rib cage, engage your low belly. Maybe that lets you come into a little bit more of a back bend. Then bring your arms down inside your left foot, walk your left foot over to the left, toes turn out at a 45-degree angle to get a little more passageway into the left hip. Walk your arms forward, out in front of you, push your hands forward, take a breath in, then out and stay there. Now walk your hands back inside the left foot, straighten your left leg into the half split. Pull your tailbone toward the back of the mat and stretch through the back of your left leg. Maybe you keep a little tiny bend in your left knee so you don't collapse into that tissue there. Then we'll go back and forth with the breath. Inhale toward the monkey, inhale to the lizard, exhale toward the monkey. Bend your knee as you inhale, then extend the knee straight on the exhale. One more time, breathe in, we flex our knee and our hip, and then we exhale and we extend the knee and lengthen that hamstring a bit. Keep your right hand on the mat, left hand up onto your left hip, turn your torso toward the left. Option to take your left arm to the sky, option 2 to find the half bind again. Again, chest is open, left leg is straight and strong, so you're really pulling up through the left inner arch of the foot so that you don't collapse into the back of the knee. Then hand comes back down. Now we're going to go into our gate pose. So bend the right knee and kickstand the foot behind you, straighten your left leg. As your torso lifts up, you're in a nice long lifted torso gate posture here. We're going to flow back and forth. Left hand down, right arm up. Then come back up, lean away, and then opposite side. Sweep out those cobwebs. One more time, breathe in, lift, and breathe out and lower and stay there and stretch through the low belly. Take a full breath in and out, then come all the way down. Left arm to the ground, right hand to the ground, left arm up and overhead. Big breath, exhale, bend your left elbow, make a fist like you're pulling back on a bow, and then exhale, let the arrow of your arm go, roll your chest open, big stretch across your rib cage. Good, inhale now, pull the left leg up off the mat, left arm goes to the sky, and then option to stay there or connect with your hand to your foot as you bend your left knee. Shoulder blades press forward, chest lifts, low bellies engaged. Press your foot into your hand. Gaze can be up or straight ahead. Good, exhale, let go. Walk yourself back to the front of your mat. Step back again, downward facing dog or child's pose. One breath in. And one breath out, then come forward again onto your belly, however you want to get there. On your inhale, roll up into cobra position. On your exhale, lower back down. Good. Now, set your left forearm onto the mat and roll over onto your left hip. We're going to squeeze the inner thighs together, left hand's facing over to the right. Want to sit up nice and tall so you're engaged in the left side of your ribs all through the waist. Squeeze into your inner thighs, then bend your right knee up towards your belly. So make sure you're not collapsing. Down into your left shoulder, staying really long here. Start to bend and straighten the leg to wake up the back of the leg. Then either hold your calf or reach for yoga toe grip. Press your right foot actively upward. Engage through your low belly. Feel yourself being born into this moment. Really exuberant. Chest lifts, spine long, left leg strong. Pull up through your inner thighs. Take one more breath in and exhale. Let it go. Roll back to your belly so that now you can come to the opposite side. So turn your right forearm and hand to face to the left. Roll over onto your right hip. Push your right forearm down so you keep lifted, not collapsing into your shoulder joint. Long spine, squeeze into the inner thighs so that helps to engage the core and the pelvic floor muscles. Then bend your left knee and squeeze the thigh to your belly. Hold on there for a moment, then start to bend and straighten your leg as you hold your thigh. Good, then reach down, grab the back of your calf or your toe in yoga toe grip. Again, make sure you're not collapsing into the shoulder. Stay lifted, exuberant chest. This is an exuberant pose. Flex the right foot, push the ground away, lift up out of the ground, maybe even look up. For one breath in, one long breath out. Good. Exhale, come back to your belly, roll down with control, curl your toes under, push to down dog or child's pose. For a breath in and a breath out. And then on your next inhalation, we're going to set the knees down onto the ground. One more kneeling pose here. Step your right foot back up to the front of the mat. Lift your left knee off of the ground. Just straighten your right leg for a moment. Set your left heel down onto the floor. Slide your right hand onto your right shin. And then spin your chest open so you're in triangle pose. Left arm goes high. Right hand can be a little higher up on your shin or lower down toward the ground, depending on what's right for you. Again, we want to keep a long spine where the crown of the head is lengthening from the back of your tailbone all the way out through the crown of your head evenly. Big breath in. Left arm can come behind the back if that feels good to you and gives you a little extra opening for your chest. Good. Then bend your knee, right knee, and set your left knee down onto the ground. Kickstand the foot over to the side. This time as you come up, bend the right knee. Fists with goddess arms. Tip over. Set your right elbow on top of your thigh or inside your right thigh. So then make real connection here, where your right arm pushes into the leg, left arm like there's a wall behind you. Big breath in, spin the chest open. Then again, the arms become like arrows. Left arm shoots overhead, right arm shoots toward the ground. Big inhale here, open up. Option to stay where you are or bring your left arm behind you back into a half bind. Then, friends, maybe you find a full bind. If you're there, maybe you get the double bind, I should say. So hands, right arm, shoulder rolls forward, hand comes behind your hip and open up your chest there. Then option to stay with the knee bent or maybe with either the hand on the ground or the arm in the double bind, find your straight leg. Deep breath in here or with the double bind. And exhale very slowly with control, let that go. Step the right foot to the back of the mat, push your heel toward the ground and push up and back to downward facing dog. Wiggle your hips side to side to release that work. And then bring your right knee to the ground and step your left foot forward to the front of the mat. Right knee comes up. We're going to move into the triangle. Set your heel down onto the ground, straighten your left leg, place your left hand onto your shin, and twist your torso to face toward the right. Roll your right hip on top of your left, right arm up to the sky. Option to keep the right arm lifted or move into the half bind if that feels appropriate for your body and if it opens your chest. Take another breath in your triangle. And out. Then look down at the ground. Bend your knees again. And now we're going to go into the kickstand position. So kickstand, your right shin and foot over to the left. Lift your torso up. Keep the left knee bent. Goddess arms. Big breath in, lift through your low belly. Good. Exhale, tip over. Elbow on top of the thigh or arm inside of the thigh. Open up your chest with resistance in your arms and then arrows. Right arm overhead, left arm's an arrow toward the ground. Breathe here. Now if this is your best place, stay here. Then I'm going to add some other options that are possible options. So listen in as you walk into your body for the right path for you. Stay where you are or maybe find a single bind or a double bind. Double bind requires rolling the shoulder inward, taking the arm underneath the thigh, and then grabbing for your hands. But the shoulders and the chest require some various things in order to find that. So stay in the place that's right for you. If you have the bind, straighten your arms in order to lift and open your chest. Then either keep your leg bent or straighten your left knee. One breath in, one breath out. Exhale with control, release. Slide your hands to the mat, step your left foot back, give it a big stretch out with your heel pushing to the back of the mat. And then again, exhale into downward facing dog pose. One full breath, inhale. One full breath, exhale. Then bring your knees to the mat. Come back into a seated position. Come back into the seated position. Bring your arms inside your legs again, back to a seated malasana. This is where we started. Now right arm stays in the thigh, left arm goes up. We've been here before. Feel your way back in. Maybe there's less cobwebs than there were at the beginning of class. Just notice. Maybe you add on with the hand behind the back or the hand into a half bind. Maybe you add the double bind. Again, same idea where the shoulder rolls forward, arm underneath. This might not be accessible for various reasons though, so please stay in the position that's right for you. Then flex your right foot, lift your chest up, lay back toward the right, straighten your left leg. Breathe in, torso is lifted and open, chest is open. Breathe into one of the versions with the arms for one more breath in and out. Good. Really feel that opening like a rebirth in your chest, across your back, across your spine. And then bring your right foot into your left thigh, turn towards your left leg, and we're going to fold into a pose called head to knee posture. Belly button in line with your left thigh. I'm going to press your chest toward your foot. Lengthen your chest towards your foot. Press your belly towards your left thigh. And exhale. Maybe even sigh. And then slowly walk back up. And we're trading sides. So we come back to Malasana. Left arm inside. Plug the left arm into the thigh. Right arm up and overhead. This is a wonderful option to stay with. I'm going to show the next options. Possibility for the hand behind the back. Possibility for a single bind or a double bind. Place your arms in the right place for you. Flex your left foot. Extend your right leg straight out. Lay back, lay back, lay back. Hands in one of the versions that allows your chest to open. You could even take your left hand into yoga toe grip, fingers into yoga toe grip, and pull on that toe, the big toe, as you lay your chest back. Good. One more breath. And exhale, lift back up. Bring your left foot to your right thigh. Turn your torso to the right leg and start to fold over your leg into Janu Sirsasana, head to knee pose, head to knee pose. Left thigh presses toward the ground, right foot is lengthening, belly button towards your right thigh. Breathe in and out. And then walk yourself back into an upright place. Stretch your legs straight out. Give them a little tap maybe, a little release, maybe a sway side to side. And then I'm going to recommend ending the class, this mini class that we've done, with your legs supported by a bolster or by a couple of blocks or a rolled up blanket underneath your knees and your thighs. And then an opportunity to lay down and feel the work that you've done. Become aware, lay down into the work that you've done. Feel the work. Feel what's happened from walking through the whole of your body. From walking this pathway through all of the nooks and crannies of you. Become aware of how you've stepped through this path, you've created new openings, new discoveries perhaps, like you've let a little more light into some of the places where there were some cobwebs. And then just relax into it. Sigh into it. Final resting pose. Friends, you might have time to stay there for a while. And if you do, enjoy your rest for today. If this is all the time that you have, then be well. Before you leave your practice, feel the benefits of those practice, like you were holding them close to you. Really acknowledge the benefits that you've received by walking this path through your body, by walking this path onto your mat, so that you can take those benefits with you and walk them into the world. Thank you, my friends. Happy practice day. Namaste.